Com et tiren la petanada, saps?
Menjant l'aire, menjant
Ara en passa un altre, ara en passa un altre.
On ets, si fos tu?
Al cel.
Atmo Esports is proud to bring you a championship event like no other. The System 7. This exciting rally circuit pays homage to Earth's classic rally and Formula One traditions, pushing drivers and their teams to their absolute limit across some of the toughest terrains Stanton has to offer. Qualifying teams will push through 7 individual races located across the system, from the isolated moons of Crusader to the bustling city centers of Hurston and Microtech. Each race, pilots will control a featured vehicle, from the rugged Drake Dragonfly to the lightning-fast Tumbril Cyclone, navigate perilous terrain and conditions, as well as one another. Racers will face off on Magda, crashing through mountain passes and dusty valleys. Wallow, where jutting cliffs and deep craters force pilots to thread the perfect line. And Cleo, where one wrong move means plummeting into a lunar sea. Racers will pick up individual wins across the races, but only the team with the highest overall standing can claim the title of System 7's champion. Sign-ups begin soon. Get your crew together and join us for the System 7. You won't want to miss it.
Bon dia, companys i companyes. Avui veurem les qualificacions del torneig internacional System 7, on, com ja sabreu, únicament poden participar els 16 millors equips del món. Aquesta prova es realitzarà amb un circuit tancat a Horizon i aquest any hem presentat 2 equips a Catcom. L'equip Alpha i l'equip Bravo. L'equip Alpha està compost, com podem veure, per Blaucat, Circuworm, Endermaster i Lord Pibe, i l'equip Bravo, Zar 21, Cafran i Blue Barrufina. Ara veurem les 3 curses perquè de l'equip Alpha correran els pilots Blaucat i Circuworm i de l'equip Bravo correrà el Zar 21. Val la pena veure-les perquè el nivell de tècnica que hi ha és molt gran i es nota que hi ha hores darrere. No res, us deixo amb les 3 curses. Endavant!
Past the track guy there, you know, like, and he saw them do it, then it doesn't really matter how they got there. It was legit. But here we are for lap 1. A Blaucat here doing well so far.
Yeah, pretty solid start to lap number 1. Once we, you sort of notice once we reach these little purple lights here, you definitely want to be making sure that you're around the 30-second mark, if not a little bit faster. And there's been a lot of wobbling back and forth. Sort of, once again, shows just how fickle the movement of this vehicle can be and how hard it can be to control if you overturn or underturn. So you're obviously going to lose a lot of time there. You're going to lose a lot of speed, but, you know, you got a bunch of laps to go.
Yeah, I think we saw some swerving begin, like once they got past that Macau line, I guess we'll call it. Macau is a brand within Star Citizen. They do clothing and stuff in Horizon, but there is one part of the track that just has the logo on it for some reason, right by the billboard. And I think before that they were doing okay. I didn't really see them bottoming out or anything like significant. But as you mentioned, they did start to swerve quite a bit after that. But this is going to be a 122.934 regardless. So still a decent time, Croncy.
Yeah, very solid first lap. Should be able to get themselves into a sub 120 position in a second or a third, as long as no major incidents. But they definitely showed that they can do a couple of minor, like, mistakes and still not lose too much time, which is essentially what happened in the first lap.
That's right. Like even though like with the steering they were chicaning around, they weren't colliding, they weren't like really making anything. They weren't losing time on any of those crazy things. There was just like they could have probably been a bit more optimized with their lines in general. But yeah, 122 from a stop is not a bad time. I mean, I feel this is an even better lap, all things considered. And I may have jinxed it. I can't tell. Was
It's
that
alright. It's
decent?
alright. It's alright so far.
All right. Yeah, but there we go.
Once
I
again,
think that
no
this is
major mistakes.
no major mistakes. Yeah, I feel like we could see here, like at the very least, a 120.
Yeah, it definitely looks like a bit of. Oh, never mind.
I'm so sorry. I'm so
It's
sorry.
Maya's fault. It's
But
Maya's fault.
yeah,
Now, look,
but
that was a quick flip though. They're not going to lose a ton of time here, but I doubt it's going to be better than their first lap. But
true.
you know, good fundamentals. Like I said, I still think they are certainly capable of a sub 120. So we just need to see that. Let's see if you can get it
Yeah.
at lap number 3. Because if you can't, then Circa Worm has to. And Circa
True. I
Worm did
mean,
not seem very confident when he was in my stream earlier.
oh, okay. I mean, like with that quick nap that they just took there, they still had a 124.9.
Yes.
So like I feel
Yes.
like just as long as they take it easy into that tunnel, they'll be 120 no problem.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. So let's see how they go. No major mistakes here on this little, this what slalom, would you call it? Little
The enigmatic
back and
slalom.
forth. I love it. The enigmatic slalom. And no major issues on the jump, and we should be in a pretty good spot.
All right, coming up to the jump point again. I'm naming these things now. Watch me.
I like the jump point. Speaking of jump
Yeah.
points, people
Mhm.
jump pointed last week. That's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, I believe that they even have the data, so we know which player was the first tester to go through a jump point
do.
and navigate through it. No video, sadly, because that's just the way it goes with Evocati NDA. However, we're now allowed to talk about these events as they unfold without video. But yeah, exciting times. Sadly, I was what was that?
There we go.
118.936.
There we go. We knew
That's
they
a
were
good time.
capable of it, and they managed to pull it off on the third lap. That's absolutely
Yeah.
fantastic. Well done, Blackcat. Now, can Circa Worm beat you to get
Can
you guys
Circa
that
Worm beat
much
you?
higher position?
Look at that Catalan flag there, man. We'll see if we can fly another one on the leaderboards in a bit. But yeah, did you get to try out the jump point stuff on Evocati?
No, I'm not Evocati.
Ew.
Sad boy.
Why are you here?
But to be fair, I would be the worst Evocati person. Because I
I
would
mean,
just
you're-
be I
Uh-huh.
I would just be so excited about everything that like I would never submit like test results or anything. Like I would never bother with any of the bug
Contribute,
reports. I'll just be
right?
like, yeah, I would be a terrible Evocati member, and I'm well aware.
I
of
mean,
that. I
to
do
be
want to
fair,
say,
I mean, like,
you called. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, like, to be fair, like, they collect data in a number of ways, right? Just playing the game is collecting data, but yeah, obviously helping out with the issue council helps for a lot too, and they reward people nowadays as well with ships and things too. But you were going to say?
True. I was just going to say, I was thinking, like, yeah, we were talking about, someone did the first jump. That person's name is Mr. Trash, and
Mr.
Trash. I petition that we rename the jump on this track the Trash Heap in honor
Trash heap
of Mr. Trash.
I am for
do you
it,
think?
man. So the trash
Lovely.
heap it is.
There we go. Circa
hilarious.
Worm, this is going to be our... Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, imagine if the person who got that first jump had a less savory name. Would they have even said who it was? But yeah, regardless, the trash heap is what it is. And here is Circa Worm here, trying to see if they can beat a 118.9 and push Catalan even further up the leaderboards.
Yeah, most likely using a gamepad as well here. So once again, we've had a couple of players using mouse and keyboard, a couple of people using sticks, gamepads, wheels. It's been very interesting. It still is sort of just showing me that it really is more about what are you comfortable with, and that's where you're going to get your best times. That was a great jump there, by the way. That was a solid landing. They didn't lose a ton of speed. They're on their first lap, hitting the tunnel at 101. This is a good run. This is a good first
This is a
lap.
great run. Let's have a look, and I think so. Blaucat as well had a gamepad, and scrolling up, I think we've only had a couple other racers use a gamepad today, such as UTR, Karma Dealer, and sorry, I'm scrolling down,
That
looking
time
through
did
all the
not come
different.
up. That was a 118.52 from Circo Worm.
For lap
It did not-
one,
did not come
that's
up. There you go.
ridiculous.
Lap 1 of 118.52. So already better than Blaucats. So that is currently their qualifying time. And that was, a lap 1 from, a poor start, right? So
Yeah.
incredibly fast. One of the big things I noticed was the exit in the tunnel. The exit in the tunnel was
Oh,
immaculate.
what is that?
I don't know, but that desync made that look so cool.
It did. Mad. But yeah, I mean, do you think that you can tell what mode of like what they're using, like a controller or a keyboard, just by the way they drive? Because I do feel as if like as they move and take these turns, they're a lot more granular than like let's say some turns we've seen before. I mean, like some of the more I guess unfortunate like an ungainly steerings that we've seen have been with a keyboard and mouse where they oversteer like crazy. Oh no. Unfortunate in that exit there, catching that back wheel and snagging and turning as they left. Sadly, it's
that
going
was
to
incredibly
cost them
fast
that
until
lap.
then, unfortunately. So
Yeah,
I'm not sure why the run's not coming up, but that was certainly not better than their first lap. I can
right.
tell you that much at least. So we'll see how they come with their third lap. But yeah, you're exactly right. I think one of the things with the controllers that you do see is if someone is on mouse and keyboard and they're doing very minute adjustments to get themselves in the right position, it's very easy to tell because it's sort of it's almost jarring when you do it on mouse and keyboard versus
When you feather the
when you do it
controls,
on-
yeah.
Exactly, yeah. So, but
Oh,
the perfect lines on here, you aren't really doing that as much. You are committing to turns a lot more, so it's a little bit harder to tell that you are using mouse and keyboard in that instance.
so as we come up to the trash heap, I just wanted to point out that like that enigmatic angle we saw before, they barely turned. They just went straight down the line through it. So that's the first time I've seen that, and I wonder if that's going to actually if that's any indication of what their time is going to be entering the cave. Oh man, that the sounds coming in can sometimes betray what's actually happening, but that was a good turn in general, I feel like. And it's going to be, what's the time? 116.807.
116.807.
Nice. So not a 115 yet,
Absolutely
but
fantastic
that's
run.
really fast. That's a commanding time.
Incredibly commanding time, 100%. We're seeing a lot of people in these sub 117s. I think we were a bit too early to say that 120 was 122 was going to be the cutoff. Now I'm starting to think it's getting even tighter, right? It
really,
once again,
really
the very
is.
original thing we said was that it was going to be 120, but as we came into the first half of this competition to the GoCat PTV track, and that was I'm so well timed. I'm a psychic. How did I know?
It couldn't be because of production, could it?
Look.
Oh no.
All right, not a fantastic start, but that's okay because, like we said, you can often get caught in there because it's a little bit of an awkward turn compared to the rest of the track. But you can also see, this is another instance of, it says they're on steering wheel, and that may very well be the case. But this is also the sort of thing you would see from mouse and keyboard, just because the oversteering is a little bit more jarring when you're on mouse and keyboard.
So
it still happens to everyone, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I big up like a controller parity from CIG a lot. You know, they put a lot of effort into making it so that, like, you know, for flying a ship or using gravlev and that kind of thing, you know, like a keyboard and mouse, using a yoke, a HOTAS, HOSAS, HOMAC, everything under the moon, you know, like in general, it's not really about what you use, it's about how confident and how comfortable you are with it. That being said, I don't believe when it comes to wheeled vehicles that using, like, let's say like a racing wheel or anything is necessarily viable, because I don't know if that's been as tuned or if you can tune it yourself in the control settings either. because yeah, they are oversteering like crazy. In reality, they're probably like moving their steering wheel not much at all. Papa Freedom there.
Yeah, Papa Freedom having some force reactions. I don't believe those force reactions are in the game yet. Interesting.
Sweep reactions as well, it looks like.
Yeah. First lap here is going to be a 142.756. Like we said, we saw quite a few issues in that first lap that hopefully we can redeem in the second or third.
Yeah, a lot more swerving here as I believe, again, when it comes to analog controls, you know, like using a controller or like, let's say, even like a HOSAS or something for racing, you know, like there's something as too analog, I feel like, and a steering wheel might be a little bit, maybe perhaps an RSI Lynx drives perfectly with a steering wheel, but what we're seeing here with the PTV, I think perhaps maybe they needed something with a little bit more finesse.
Very possible. Very possible. But like, yeah, anyone will make anything work.
Right.
I very much imagine, in fact, maybe this is a challenge I got to give myself. I very much imagine you can do this track on like a DDR pad, and
I mean,
and give that a go.
Someone beat Elden Ring with an Elgato Stream Deck, so I think anything is possible with enough willpower. You know.
I do love that like subset of.
Oh
no!
Now that's splash damage. Get it? Because they
So
belly
a lot
flopped
of
and blew up.
that very likely would have been a bunch of damage that we saw earlier happen from all of the collisions.
Bueno, ja hem vist les 3 curses, la veritat és que totes una autèntica meravella i gràcies a aquestes bones carreres doncs finalment l'equip Alfa es va poder classificar entre els 16 millors, o sigui que res, un any més participarem a la System 7. Gràcies a tothom i ens veiem.